Hi, my name is Caitrin and welcome back to my channel. So, I just spent like half an hour filming an entire other video. And apparently my phone wasn't recording. So, I don't have the energy to redo all of that today. So that video is either getting scrapped or pushed on to another day. So right now we are going to do the 20 questions book tag.
Editing Megan here. Looking back at that footage and editing this video, I'm realizing that uh, there are a lot of points where I don't necessarily make the most sense, or I have a very roundabout way of getting there. That is because I had a migraine while I was filming this. So apologies for that, but I want to have something to post this week, so here we are. Yeah, this will just happen sometimes. Sorry about that, but let's get on back to the video.
Let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first question is how many books are too many for a series? And realistically, I'm probably not going to pick up the series if there have already been published more than three, or if it's going to be more than three books at the end, just from the get-go. I think the main exception to this is the Wayward Children series, just since each of those books are so short. I think the main thing that I am not a fan of with that series, though, is how many books there have been and how spread out the storylines that connect to each other have been. That it's like a couple years in between those releases, and I don't reread them before the next release comes out. And so I think that's, I don't have the time or energy to be rereading books to continue on with the series. And so if I've forgotten what happened in the earlier books in the series, I'm just not going to read it. Okay. Question 2 is how do you feel about cliffhangers? Honestly, I think they're a necessary evil. I kind of hate them, but also they're really useful for getting me to continue reading and read on to the next chapter. I think especially in a way where I might just kind of forget about the book if they didn't have a cliffhanger. I think the main exception, though, is a major cliffhanger at the end of a book before the next book in the series. Drives me absolutely insane. Question 3 is hardcover or paperback. I prefer hardcover books for displaying them, but for reading them, I prefer paperback because, and don't hate me for this, but I kind of like to fold it. And paperback books are able to be folded in different ways. I at least don't dog-ear pages. I break the spine, but I don't dog-ear pages. So, you win some, you lose some. Question 4 is favorite book. I would probably say it's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Least favorite book. So, that I have actually finished is probably Behind Closed Doors. It had like every trope I hate in a thriller, and I am just so confused as to why everyone loved it so much. Of books that I've DNF'd, though, it would probably be Girl Wash Your Face by Rachel Hollis, because when I picked it up, I had only seen it as a recommended self-help book and didn't really know that much else about it. And I wasn't aware of how MLM-y and like religious it would be. And that just wasn't the vibes I was going for. So, yeah. Question 6 is love triangles, yes or no? Honestly, no. It always feels really juvenile to me. I have never once in my adult life had anything even remotely close to a love triangle come up. And I think when it's happening between teenagers, it's fine. Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. But also, when it's a love triangle between teenagers, I don't feel like the stakes are that high, because realistically, in my mind, it's like, choose whoever you want. You're probably not going to be with them in 5-10 years anyways, so it's not worth all of this back and forth. But yeah, so those are my thoughts. Question 7 is most recent book you couldn't finish. So this was a book that I got an audio arc of from NetGalley. It's called The Vanishing Bookstore. I don't even think I got an hour into the audiobook before I put it down, just because the main character was already so insufferable that I just couldn't do it. I'm trying to be better about DNFing books as soon as I know that it's not gonna work for me. And I found out very quickly that this was not gonna work for me. So that's that. Question 8 is a book you're currently reading. I'm currently listening to the audiobook for Wicked by Gregory Maguire, I think. So I haven't had a chance to see the Wicked movie yet, because I'm not big on movie theaters, and I don't really want to pay $20 to watch it when I'm already paying for the subscription for Peacock. So I am just waiting until it becomes available on Peacock, and then I will watch it. And so listening to the Wicked audiobook is kind of helping me bridge that gap. Question 9 is the last book you recommended to someone. For this, it was They Called Us Enemy by George Takei. I don't know how to say his last name. They have a part in the graphic memoir explaining how to pronounce his last name, and yet I still don't know it. But it's a graphic memoir about his life. He's, I don't know Star Trek. He's some character in Star Trek. And it's about his life as a Japanese American in the Japanese internment camps in the US during World War II. And I think just with recent events in the US, I think it can be really important to just see what has happened in the past in these types of situations, so we can hopefully learn from them and not let these situations continue to repeat themselves. So yeah. Question 10 is the oldest book you've read by publication date, and that would be The Great Gatsby, published in 1925. I feel like I've probably read something that was published earlier in school, but I didn't start tracking stuff on Goodreads until late high school. And I pretended to read most of the books that were assigned in school, and so I don't know which ones I actually read versus just read the... Oh, it wasn't Spark Notes. What was it? Like Pink Monkey or something along those lines. I need to look this up now. Yeah, it was Pink Monkey. I used Pink Monkey because it went more in depth than Spark Notes, and my teachers didn't know that Pink Monkey existed. whereas they knew that SparkNotes existed, and so if you use SparkNotes, they like were able to tell that you didn't read the book because you were only mentioning things from SparkNotes. But yeah, I doubt that would work now. I'm assuming more teachers know about Pink Monkey or the various other options, but cool. Okay. Question 11 is the newest book you've read by publication date. So I read one of the Amazon original short story collections called Under the Mistletoe, and that was published in November of 2024. In general, I would not recommend that collection. It was not my cup of tea. I liked maybe 2 of the books in the collection, and the rest, I think I DNF'd all of them. Even though they were so short that I could have just finished them, I hated them that much that I just put them down. Question 12 is favorite author. So my favorite author is probably Marissa Meyer. I absolutely loved the Lunar Chronicles and really enjoyed, I think it was called Instant Karma, and then the Renegades series. I liked Heartless. Wasn't great, wasn't terrible. I really didn't like Gilded, though. Like to the point that I own the second book and I'm not positive I'm going to read it. But considering the fact that outside of 2 books I've read by her, every other book I have read by her I've given 5 stars, I am gonna definitely say that she's my favorite author. Question 13 is buying books or borrowing books. Definitely borrowing books from the library. I used to have an Audible subscription. I will sometimes start it back up if they offer me 3 months free, and then we'll cancel before I have to pay any money. But I don't really plan on re-listening to any audiobooks, and so I don't really need to own a copy. I'm fine with just borrowing it. And since I'm trying to pare things down before moving to Austria, I am just very intentionally trying to not buy more books. Question 14 is a book you dislike that everyone seems to love. So the first one is the Illuminae Files series. Hated it. Granted, I think I have landed on the fact that I don't like space travel books in general. So realistically, I never should have picked that up. The other one is The Book Thief. I think if I'd read it in middle school, I maybe would have liked it. But it was just utterly forgettable as an adult, and yeah, I'm just gonna leave it at that. Question 15 is bookmarks or dog ears. And I think I mentioned this before, bookmarks. Only bookmarks. I do not dog ear pages. I used to as a kid, and then I at some point stopped, so now I just use bookmarks. And I use like actual bookmarks, not just random pieces of paper. Either is fine. I just have a lot of bookmarks, so I use them. Question 16 is a book you can always reread, and this would be the entire Harry Potter series except for the second one, which I think is Chamber of Secrets. I don't know what it is about that book, or I'm not a huge fan of that movie, and the book, it bores me so much. I do not like it, so I don't know. But the rest of the series, I absolutely love it. Question 17 is, can you read while listening to music? I can, but only if it's instrumental music. Movie soundtracks count, like basically just no words. And it can't be one I know well. So like Pirates of the Caribbean, I will just sing along to the instrumental track. anything by Yuruma, I will just sing along to the piano piece. So yeah, that's the main exceptions, I guess. Question 18 is one point of view or multiple. I think it depends. I think most of the time I would prefer to have multiple POVs. I'm not upset with just having one though. However, for romance, I definitely prefer to have the dual POV. And also, I would rather have one point of view than multiple if the multiple are going to be done poorly. So, like, I hate when the POVs are not distinct enough for you to be able to immediately know when the point of view is shifted. Because a lot of times I'm listening to an audiobook, and so if the only thing that is telling me that it's a different point of view is just their name at the start of the chapter, I'm probably gonna miss that. And so I like when, bare minimum with the audiobook, they either have two different voice actors for the points of view, or the voice actor has different voices for the different points of view. Question 19 is, do you read a book in one sitting or over multiple days? I am a very slow reader, so usually it's over multiple days, especially if I'm physically reading it. If I do read a book in one sitting, though, it is almost always going to be an automatic 5-star read for me, because I had to be really interested in it to get through it all at once. And then question 20 is, who do you tag? I feel like this has been around for a while. So if you've not done this tag and you would like to, then I tag you. And also, if you don't have a YouTube channel, you don't make videos, and you just want to leave your comments down below, or you just want to answer a couple of the questions, feel free and let me know down below what your thoughts are. And yeah, that's it for today's video. So if you like this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have a great day today. Bye.